Good morning, foodies.
Welcome to the Gourmet Plate. We are at Tropicana Gardens Mall and we are having bagels for breakfast.
Bagels in Kuala Lumpur.
Yes, a really good bagel.
Let's go! Hey guys, so we're now seated at ACTUAL Bagels and very quick look around. Design is very simple, but in a very nice and clean way. Very minimalist. It's very representative of a bagel shop where you come in, buy your bagel, sit down, enjoy it, and then get off. Then there are these very interesting, simple drawings along their glass windows as well, which we quite like. And the bagels are all loaded up front in a glass rack for you to see and order. In the counter in front, people are starting to queue up to buy the bagels for takeout or dine-in. So let us quickly go ahead and place our order for the first bagel. Let's go with the classic first, shall we?
Alright, so here is our first bagel. Plain bagel with plain cream cheese.
Okay, I can't wait to try. The bagel is still warm. They just toasted it. Smells great. Okay, let's start. Yeah, definitely a good bagel. I don't know if you hear that crisp. In a good bagel, you always start with a little bit of resistance on the surface. It's not crunchy, slight crisp, and then the chewiness of the bagel sets.
The inside is soft, yet it's chewy, and you could taste the nice aroma of the bagel.
Yeah, a proper bagel will have that taste. It's not a flowery taste, it's a very bagery taste. I don't know how to put it. But basically, this is very proper bagel. The most proper that we have had in KL so far. And that cream cheese is a very simple, mild, cheesy flavor, a little bit sour, that it pairs so well with this basic plain bagel. I think it really plays in harmony with the flavor of the bagel, where it doesn't overpower it. So you get to taste the cream cheese and then you get to taste the texture of the bagel and the flavor of the bagel. The cream cheese is definitely not the hero in this combination. The hero is the bagel. And I think this is why I love the most traditional bagel with just plain cream cheese. Because it allows you to really test whether the bagel is good. And guys, look at these bubbles. You know how this came about? This actually means that the bagels have been boiled before they are baked in the oven. Because what happens when you boil is it gelatinizes the starch of the bagel, allowing the surface to firm up to have that crispy texture, along with that chewy insides. That's how a chewy interior of the bagel is formed. Chase it down with a bit of that Americano. Bitter, a little bit of sour tone, decent Americano. But keep on nice in a bagel, so good pairing. Alright guys, so bagel number 2, we decided to go with a savory flavor. The smoked salmon bagel. Let's very quickly take a look at the bagel. Ooh, look at this guys. Beautiful.
Alright, what we got here is a whole wheat bagel with a plain cream cheese, lettuce, smoked salmon, tomato, and onion.
Alright, without further ado, let's take a quick bite. Weird thing to say, juicy.
For tomato?
Yeah, and probably the lettuce. I could taste the smoked salmon. Decently smoked, not exactly very salty.
And the cream cheese?
Cream cheese flavor is very present. Bagel though, texture is right, but not much of a flavor I think because it's been masked by all the ongoing ingredients in there. I think this makes for a very hearty breakfast or lunch, but if you're here to test out the bagels, probably not the best pick. Yeah, because there are too many things going on in there and it distracts you from fully enjoying the bagel's flavor. I think smoked salmon is a little bit thin. I understand it's due to the pricing. But because when you put a thin layer of smoked salmon, you barely taste much of the smoked salmon. So the entire flavor profile isn't very exciting. By the way guys, we forgot to give a quick introduction on where bagel came from. And we're into our second bagel. Anyway, very simple intro. Bagels came from the Jewish people who used to stay in Poland, I believe. So these Jewish guys from Poland, they moved to the US and they started selling bagels there. So that's how we came to this popularization of bagels, especially the New York bagels. So there you go, quick introduction. By the way guys, we are not done. We're going to try a few spreads, and of course this is not our first time having past bagel. So I'm going to introduce you to one or two of the spreads that we really like. So let's head on to this tray. Alright, round 3 of our bagels. We're gonna have 2 bagels. One is the cranberry bagel and the other is the garlic bagel spread with spring onion cream cheese. For the cranberry, we decided to leave it empty, and we're gonna introduce you to 2 types of cream cheese that we love. One is the strawberry and the other is the double chocolate cream cheese. And we also got their iced latte. Decent, moderate coffee flavor. You can taste the milk, but not milky. It's not as good as the percentage Arabica, but the price point is also nearly half of theirs. And it's not that far off. Yeah. Anyway, the bagels. Let's start with the one that has been spreaded first, the garlic bagel with spring onion cream cheese. Oh, I love how this looks. I mean, look at that beautiful spring onions that's within. It actually adds a little bit of color.
Guys, in case you don't know how chewy is this, look at this. How spongy is it?
Okay, while you still warm, let's quickly take a bite. Bagel texture is on point again.
Slightly crispy outside and chewy inside.
I don't really taste that much of the garlic though. Garlic is not as strong. But my god, there's spring onion cream cheese. The cream cheese is very mild flavored, right? It's not the super strong type. A little bit of sourness, but there's spring onion. It adds that additional flavor layering, that fragrance and that flavor, and it's not overpowering. It's sort of there, it's very present, but it doesn't scream in your face. And paired with that chewy bagel, it doesn't even need to be garlic, to be honest. I think it can be anything. It can be plain, it can be onion or poppy seeds, whatever type of bagel you want. So just pair it with anything. That spring onion is crazy good. Don't want to bore you with me just eating this. Let's quickly move on to cranberry. Ta-da-da-da! Look at these fluffy insides. And guys, see this? These are the cranberry bits all over. Okay, I think we should just smear half of the bagel with strawberry and half of it with chocolate. But before that, let me just try the cream cheese. Strawberry flavor is very present. It doesn't taste very artificial.
It tastes like a yogurt strawberry. It's a strawberry yogurt.
Yeah, strawberry yogurt but in a more dense form. Yours is cream cheese format.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try the chocolate.
The double chocolate.
Very interesting flavor, but I quite like it as well. Chocolatey for sure.
Yeah.
Not overly bitter, but not milky. The cream cheese brings that interesting flavor. It's like it's chocolate, then at the same time you taste the sourness of the cheese.
Yeah, you're right.
It's very addictive. Actually, I think this will go well with like a plain bagel.
Or with any biscuit, I would say.
Yeah. Okay, let's start the spreading process. Healthy develop. On it goes. I can't get over that sound.
Strawberry cream cheese is very present and very nice. Strawberry aroma. And after that, you will taste the cranberry flavor from the bagel itself.
My god. It's like walking through a strawberry farm. That harmony. And then after the strawberry flavor fades, the cranberry flavor presents itself. My god, this is a fantastic combination. Oh, it's good. The cranberry has this sourness, the berry sourness as you chew. This could turn out to be my favorite.
Yes! Me too!
Is it? Right. The Gourmet Plate's favorite. Okay, while Quite devours this, I'm going to spread the chocolate. Cioccolato Bagel. I like this also. I love how the sourness plays with the chocolate flavor, and it sort of tricks your mind to think that it's something very healthy. Probably because of the sourness. I think this is one of the other favorites as well. I mean, honestly, I like both.
One more thing, guys.
What?
I will tell you a joke.
Okay.
When we first visit to Park Bagel, what Waylon thought is this is an ice cream.
I mean, in my defense, they put it out there, it really looked like an ice cream rack with ice cream tops.
Yeah.
And I know it's super embarrassing, but back then I was like, hey look, they have such interesting flavors. They have jalapeno and spring onion ice cream. Yeah. And I was so excited to try. And then after that they told me like,
it's cream cheese.
and oh my god, that embarrassment. Oh yeah, that's a funny bit for you. And it's totally fine, right?
Yeah.
You never try, you never know. Guys, if you have not tried bagel before and you want to try bagel for the first time, come to Parks. Don't bother with the chain coffee place bagels. Strictly speaking, those are not really bagels. This is a proper bagel. I'm so happy that we have this in Malaysia. And it's called Parks Bagels because I think it's run by a Korean couple, I think. So I guess they are called the Parks. So thank God we have the Parks doing bagels for us. 감사합니다. That's it. We're gonna mop this up again and we'll see in a bit for plating time. Plating time! So, Parks Bagels. Absolutely delicious bagels, properly executed. That slightly crispy surface with that nice chewy interior. They have a good variety of bagels as well, each of them carrying their own individual flavors too.
There's a variety of the cream cheese, good quality. It pairs well and draws out the flavor of the bagel like a match made in heaven.
I think the key point lies in the harmony between the cream cheese present yet mellow flavor and the bagel's nearly perfect texture.
Yeah.
An amazing individual taste. And with that being said, Parks Bagel scores a half a plate on the Gourmet Plate, which means it is some really high quality bagels. Absolutely recommended. So for the recommendation for pairings, I would say for the sweet type, definitely try out the strawberry cream cheese with the cranberry bagel. And the other I would really like is the double chocolate cream cheese. I think it will probably pair well with like a plain bagel.
And for the savory, I will take the spring onion with the plain bagel.
Yeah, I think that is an absolute must try. If you don't take spring onion, you can just opt for the plain bagel with their plain cream cheese. I think that's the best way for you to really test out what Park Bagel's bagels are about.
We also strongly recommend you guys to dine in at Parks Bagel.
A bagel when it's freshly made is miles apart compared to the bagel that you take out and then you eat it, like let's say a day later. Just try it at least once in their shop.
In their shop.
Really different. Very, very good. The half a plate is entirely based on their fresh bagels, just
Dine.
toasted, warm, dine in. So that's it for our food adventure for the week. If you like what you see, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. Till we eat again next week. Bye-bye.